And with that, hello everyone, it's me, Max to the Re, and welcome to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Ah yeah guys, Ocarina of Time. Probably one of the most legendary games ever created, one of the biggest milestones in gaming history. To be honest, I do believe at this point in time everything is said that there is to say about this game. It's just truly marvelous. It did set a lot of standards, a lot of future games use even to this day. And yeah, first 3D Zelda as well, so a big game when it comes to the history of gaming. It is also the first game that I have ever played, at least as far as I can recall, or at least it's the first game I truly consciously ever played. I think other contenders might be, for me at least, Pokemon Red or Tetris on Game Boy. But I think this is the first game I can truly remember consciously. So yeah, I really wanted to play this game again. Like I said, I think there's already everything said about this game. We will need to wait a little bit here because there are 3 of those little cutscenes that play after the intro here. The first one was already pretty interesting. In general, this entire intro is pretty interesting because this game, I'm not sure how this game was marketed back in the game, but I always kind of found it interesting that apparently one of the biggest plot twists is revealed almost immediately here, and that is the fact that we have an adult Link in this game. I always found that interesting, and the cutscenes we are about to view also are all cutscenes that adult Link witnesses. So very interesting in that regard. Once again, not sure how this game was marketed back in the day. That's actually something I'm not aware of. It could actually be that in actuality the big plot twist was that you play as Child Link for the first portion of the game. So yeah, not sure about that. But yeah, other than that, the first cutscene was Kuma and Kotake at Spirit Temple before they banish Naburu into the Shadow Realm. Interesting there is that Link does not have the mirror shield equipped, so no clue how he's about to fight those 2 witches, but okay. And the second cutscene, they always appear in a fixed order. The first one is always the Kuma Kotake cutscene, the second one is always Sheik at Death Mountain Crater here. I am also not sure, it has been a long time since I last viewed the cutscenes in this game. I'm not sure, but I do get the feeling that the cutscenes presented here do use some different camera angles. They are not the full cutscenes. The Sheik cutscene here, for example, is longer. Sheik teaches you the song and everything. But I think they use some unique angles, camera angles as well, which is pretty nice. But here, there's one more to go. What else can also, wait a second, was that in that cutscene, was that a Link with green tunic there, with Kokiri tunic? Also pretty funny, they probably just use a stock pre-equipped Link like they use here in the intro cutscene. But it's funny to make those observations. You would assume that he has the Goron tunic equipped, but apparently not. But yeah, I can also talk a little bit about my goal for this playthrough here. I'm gonna go for 100%, which means I'm gonna get all the items in the game. I'm gonna get 20 hearts in total, which are a couple heart containers, a couple pieces of hearts. I'm actually not sure how many pieces of hearts this game has. Something tells me 54, but that's way too much. I think 54 is the next game, Majora's Mask. Let's just say 38. Doesn't even make sense. 36. Yeah, I don't know. But we will get all of them. We will also get 100 Skulltulas, and this is the last cutscene here, by the way. Ganondorf riding through the flames here. Pretty cool. I think this is a part of the cutscene that is used when the new Deku tree explains Link's origins to him. I think that's where that comes from. Noticeably here in that cutscene was that it apparently was old Ganondorf, not the child era Ganondorf, because that Ganondorf in the cutscene did have his cape. But yeah, so much for that. We can finally start the game. I just wanted to show off all of those cutscenes. We have 3 save files here. We can change options here. Stereo, mono, headset, surround. Stereo is okay. We have Z targeting, which is one of the big inventions this game has introduced to the gaming world, which is the targeting. We either can use switch targeting or hold targeting. I'm personally someone who likes switch targeting, because hold targeting, I don't know. Like hold targeting, in this game at least, it never stick to me. I like hold targeting in future Zelda games, like Twilight Princess. I think hold targeting there is better, but I prefer switch for this game. You also have to check brightness down there, which is funny. But yeah, cool. Switch, by the way, also the default option. But yeah, let's start a save file here. We will get more cutscenes. Speaking about cutscenes are gonna be interesting for me at least, because I've played this game a lot. But I think the last time I actually normally played this game was 2015, when I did a German Let's Play of this game back in the day here on this channel, which you can still view, by the way, if you want. Yeah, I think that was the last time I did actually watch those cutscenes. And yeah, in the meantime, like in the time span between 2015 until today, I mostly played randomizers, which just get rid of all the cutscenes. So watching all those cutscenes again is pretty interesting. But yeah, we have Link here. He is sleeping like he usually does at the start of every Zelda game. And this Link is especially cool because he sleeps with open eyes, if you look closely. This is a good thing. That's a nice like reference for like how back in the day like CRTs couldn't really like show that, and you couldn't really see that Link has his eyes open. That's pretty funny. But yeah, by the way, I'm playing this on the Wii Virtual Console. This is the NTSC version of the Wii Virtual Console version. And that means a couple of things. Things we will notice in the first dungeon, actually, when we encounter our first blocks and switches. Because there are some changes between versions of Ocarina of Time. Come hither. Also introduction to Navi. But yeah, we are playing on Wii Virtual Console. It was quite the hassle to set all of this up. Because my capture card didn't really want to capture my footage here. For reference, I'm using obviously Nintendo Wii to record this, and I'm also using the good old combination of OSSC and XRGB-mini FRAMEMEISTER. I know nowadays you guys are all running around with your fancy RetroTrinks 5X or 4Ks, but I'm from the old guard, so I'm using the good old OSSC and FRAMEMEISTER combo instead. And yeah, the FRAMEMEISTER apparently has some very old HDMI signals it sends to the capture card, and my capture card didn't really want to accept that, and I would constantly get like something that interrupts the picture. It would get constantly interrupted like every minute or so, and that was just not feasible to watch. But luckily I found a workaround. I just had to update the firmware of the FRAMEMEISTER. I wasn't aware that there was a newer frame rate to this, and ouch. But yeah, it fixed the issue. It should work pretty well, and yeah, nice. I can play this game how I want it to be, how I want it to play, how I want it to be, yeah, how I want it to play. Link's still sleeping with open eyes. And hello guys, yeah, okay, Navi. Navi, most controversial character in gaming history, probably. With all her memorable quotes here. Ah, yes. I wonder how much I remember my, like, quote-unquote usual route I take going through this game, normally, compared to Randomizer. I'm Navi the Fairy. Nice. I'm your partner from now on. Okay, nice to meet you. Okay, our goal is to meet the great Deku tree. Okay, and here we are. We can change the camera at some point in the game. Right now we can't, I'm pretty sure. But there's like more of a like third-person view of this, not overhead view. This piece here will also become important later on. This one tracks some records we set in the game. But right now I think there's not much we can do. We can only leave the house. And welcome to Kokiri Forest, our opening area. There's something else I wanted to mention, I think. Yahoo! Okay. Okay, first off we do this, because that's much more stylish. We can talk to Zarya if you want to. She's very happy that we have a ferry, and yeah, nice. Also, that's the same laugh I think most females in this game use. Interesting. Okay, and she tells us again that we should meet the great Deku tree. Okay, first off we need to get a sword and a shield, because Mido over there would not let us through otherwise. And that means we need to collect some money, because we need 40 rupees to get a Deku shield, to buy a Deku shield. And we need, we don't need even more money, we need a sword. We get a sword over here. Also Navi, hello. I personally actually don't mind Navi. I think Navi is not as annoying as people make her out to be. Like the occasional hey or hello is something I can shrug off. Uh-oh. Big boulder. Isn't there another one here, yeah? Rupees you can find scattered all around Kokiri Forest here. Like this area is supposed to introduce you to the basic controls of the game, so they just place the rupees everywhere, so you can like pretty much get money by doing everything you do practically. Also another thing a randomizer makes better, fast attacks. Oh yeah, it's a hidden, you borrow it for a while, yeah, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, not get hit by the boulder, thank you. I think Navi wants to tell us again that we are supposed to go to the Deku tree, in case that wasn't clear yet. But yeah, we got a sword now, and we can target those, yeah, but we don't want to. Let's equip it, nice. We got a sword, but it is more like a dagger if you look at it. Let's see, if I... No, that is completely wrong. Come on, we can get some like hidden rupees here if you do backflips over the fencing here. That's something I usually never do, but I guess I can show it off. Or maybe not. Wait a second. And there we go, nice. Okay. I think you can get even more if you do it more clean, but nah. You can also get like money if you like do this, right? I'm gonna try out some stuff here. Like if you slash the rock, don't you get money from doing that? I thought there was something like that. It's something I usually never do because I get money through other means. Or maybe cutting this sign here. I could swear you could get money here somewhere. There we go. Aha. Okay, 5 rupees, nice. Not sure who's gonna repair that, but not my problem. Let's go raid Midos' house here. This is usually a dream room in randomizers. Also, I will mention randomizer a lot, as you can already tell. It's nice to compare the base game to the randomizer. It tells you a lot about how the randomizer people did tweak the game and streamlined it. Also, one thing I need to show here, I think it was here, right? There is like this invisible pot here. Right? Was it here? I think it was here, right? Or was it? I think it might be a different house. Like somewhere around here, like in one of those houses, was an invisible pot that you can actually expose, kind of. But apparently it wasn't here, okay? Maybe it was that house over there. I'm actually not sure what those houses are anymore. I know a lot of people here try to explain the basic controls to you. Like, when was the last time I was in this house? Holy moly. It's been a couple of years, I think. But yeah, one thing I'm also gonna pursue with this playthrough is I want to take it slowly. I'm not in a rush here. I want to show off a lot of stuff here as much as possible. And I'm gonna take my time for that. Also this guy. Yeah. Sure. Guy likes his rock. Nice 5 rupees here. I think those 5 rupees are the easiest to get because you can just enter the store and go outside again and hop over the stones again, and then you get money that way. There was an invisible pot here somewhere, and I think you could see it if you like stand behind it. Also, I'm not sure if those hearts respawn, let's just collect them. It could also be that in this virtual console version, like, that bug was fixed, that the pot is now visible. There was definitely something like that, but I either cannot find it or it was fixed in this version. Maybe here? Ah, there we go, Here. You can see that Link's arm is a little bit funky here. That's because there's like some kind of weird... Like part of this pot apparently is like more in the foreground than the rest of it, which is strange. Might be some kind of simple bug with like the pre-rendered background here. Interesting. I knew there was something like that. And she's just like, what did you do to my pots? Yeah, normal Link stuff we're doing here. Normal Link stuff. Okay, and finally, let's get the blue rupee over here. Oh, guys, I remember back in the day, this was so hard going over this bridge because when you were first playing games, you couldn't really go straight. Because we were too dumb for that. Also, she is supposedly the... Whoa, she's supposedly the original, like, forest sage. Very funny. Oh yeah, this is also a thing. Cool, we can talk to her, but I rather would not. Also, finally, let's get the 5 rupees behind here. Nice. Cool, let's get a shield. Nice, we got a Deku shield. And we can equip it. Yeah, I know, thank you. Fast text surely is a blessing. And do we want to buy something else? It's funny that they say you arrows here, even though you cannot get them at all right now. I would normally in randomize I would buy Deku sticks, but I'm gonna get dude, I already have the sword. Let's get some sticks anyways. Oh, you got a Deku stick on the select item, set it to C, swing it with C, okay? When you want to put it away, stand still, press B, you can carry up to 10, okay? Thank you. Nice, thanks a lot. Cool, also this is what I meant, you can just do this, 5 rupees, you go back into the store. Hop over those stones again and you get another 5 rupees. That's pretty much the easiest way to get money. At least early on here in this game. Cool. Could buy another stick, but not right now. Okay, we need to equip the Deku shield right now. If I can, thank you. And we get Deku sticks, nice. And now we are well equipped for what's ahead. Oh, there are also some, like, rupees here if I jump over here or so. Like, what was the trick here again? Do I need to... Maybe I need to start over here, need to do this, and... Then I do this or so? Nah. There are a lot of hidden rupees here, some I probably have never found in my life. Because ultimately it's also not really important at all. Maybe over here, so? No? If I do this and do this, maybe I trigger something. No, okay. There's probably something there, but yeah, I cannot find it right now. Mido, our best friend here. We have a sword and a shield. And yeah, good grief. He calls us a wimp. Yeah, okay. Grumble, grumble. Nice reference to Zelda 1. And yeah, we are about to fight our first encounters. If we slowly move here, we can see how they load in. Ah, come on. Somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Random encounter. Nice. No, almost. Speaking of random encounters, I think, if I recall correctly, the initial idea for Ocarina of Time was that it started out as a remake of Zelda 2, apparently. Which is most apparent with Adult Link and some of his animations. You can clearly see some remnants from that idea. So it could actually be that spot there was actually supposed to be like some kind of random encounter. But that's just an idea I have, nothing confirmed or so. Link is just completely frozen right now. He does not have any breathing animation whatsoever anymore. Okay, the Deku tree in the meantime is telling us that he is sensing an evil presence, and he has had a lot of nightmares the last few couple days. He also has been cursed, which is pretty bad, so we're gonna do something about that. Yeah, be careful what answer you choose here, because if you choose the wrong one, you need to listen to all of that again. But luckily, the Deku tree is not the owl. So this guy is good, not the owl though. I think all of those Deku Babas are... they are Deku Babas, right? Yeah, Deku Baba. Although it looks withered, it will hurt you if you touch it. Okay. And that's something I should also do. I should try to scan as many enemies as I can. But yeah, currently we only fight the withered version of those Deku Babas. The withered ones are the ones that are just like pointing upwards and like never actively attack. They can move around a little bit, but yeah. I think there's also another withered variant that is only the head. That one only drops Deku nuts in comparison to those variants Deku sticks. Okay, stuff gets more exciting here, and we immediately get hit, nice. And we get nuts. And Deku nuts are a horribly underrated item if you ask me. You can do a lot of stuff with Deku nuts, actually. A lot of cool stuff, actually. Oh yeah, by the way, first dungeon here, Deku tree. For those guys, you have two methods to kill them. I'm fairly certain. Or maybe not. Nah, maybe not. maybe yes. You can, for example, you can use Deku nuts here, for example. You could like stun them, and if you defeat them like that, they drop a Deku stick instead. Also very interesting here that we have like two different paths here. We could climb the vines here, we could also take the ladder. And let's take the long way around, why not? Which means we take the ladder. And this is also the dungeon where Navi will be the most oppressive. They're constantly interrupting us, because she is trying to explain the basics to us. But first off, let's get to the dungeon map. Da 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 da. Nice. You found the dungeon map. Also, by the way, I was always wondering what like dungeon is depicted on the dungeon map here. It's always the same dungeon. This is not like the Deku tree on the map on the model here. And I came to the conclusion that it is actually Dodongo's cavern. Yeah, if you look at that, it has like that central room. It has like this, like at the north, it has this like round thing that is like the loop you do in the end. And like the left and right part also looks similar to that. Blue chambers are placed. I should have continued the text boxes while I was explaining that, because we need to see all of that. Look at this wall! Oh my goodness, it's vines. You can climb them. Okay, we could either get the slingshot, we could also just climb it normally, but yeah, I'm gonna get the slingshot. Oh, also here, Navi's best line. You can open a door by staying in front of it and pressing A. Oh my goodness. Also, she explains to us that we have a context-sensitive button here, the A button. Now it's open, and now it's nothing at all. Cool. We have a Deku scrub here. This Deku scrub is special. You need a shield for this Deku scrub. Normally, you can also knock Deku scrubs out of their hiding by using Deku nuts, for example, hookshot, the slingshot, whatsoever. But this one is special in that regard. It only works if you deflect his Deku nut. Which means this is a mean room if you go in here without knowing what's going on and playing the randomizer. Once again, mentioning randomizer, because if you go in there, don't have a shield, you are practically trapped. You need to save and quit. Also, yes, I'm totally ignoring that big chest here because I want to get the smaller one here first. It's a piece of, not piece of heart, a recovery heart. Okay, we are about to get the dungeon item. Classic Zelda structure here. We do enter a dungeon, we get a dungeon item halfway through, more or less, and then we do the other half of the dungeon. In this case, it is the fairy slingshot, which is our first aiming item. Cool stuff. If you want to shoot right away, then you first press blah 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 blah. Seat ready. Okay. Okay, we have a not close combat. What is it called? Not far combat. What is it? We have a shooting weapon. And we need to shoot the ladder. We actually don't need to, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And this is done in case you did get rid of the platform, because this platform is gonna collapse, and yeah, it just collapses into smaller versions of itself. Pretty nice. But yeah, if you do that, you need to shoot the ladder from down there. This is, of course, a very nice way to teach you the very basics of the slingshot. Because once you're trapped here, it's like a classic Zelda game design. Once you're trapped, you're usually trapped in the room with the dungeon item, and like the room makes you use the dungeon item like in the most basic way possible, and then like it expands from there. Also, nice seam over there. I think that's because of the spider web. Okay. Also, by the way, one thing I should mention. One thing I think I should mention. Look at the way I aim. Look at how smooth it is. I already mentioned that I'm playing the Wii Virtual Console version of this. I should also mention that I'm using an ESS adapter. An ESS adapter is something that is usually used for speedrunning, or in case you're someone who really likes your games more pure. Because what the ESS adapter does is basically it converts the like signal of the or not the signal. It basically converts like these the like overall control scheme of the Wii Virtual Console to be more in line with the N64 version, if that makes sense. For example, I have an ESS adapter and I currently use a GameCube-Controller for this. And what the ESS adapter does now is it makes the like overall joystick of the GameCube more like the like how it was on the N64, because the notches, for example, of the notches and the dead zone of the control stick of the GameCube controller are very different compared to how it was on the N64. Like the GameCube is more round, while the N64 is more square-shaped. if that makes sense. You really need to like view the GameCube control stick and the N64 control stick next back to back, next to each other for it to make more sense, I think. But it basically makes it so that like it feels more like N64. And that means I also have like a much better dead zone here, which allows me to make much smoother small adjustments when in first person view, for example. In other instances as well, as the name ESS adapter implies, it's mostly used to ensure that you more prominently can use the extended super slide glitch. That's where the name comes from, ESS. It stands for extended super slide. That's also the reason why it's primarily something for speedrunning, but yeah, I really was annoyed by how it usually behaves here in the Wii Virtual Console version, because in the Wii Virtual Console version without ESS adapter, if you want to aim, it's not like this. You can make this like super smooth correction, or you can, but it is very hard because the dead zone is just so awful. The normal dead zone, like it would more look like some kind like flick stick stuff. Like it would more be like this, like if you tap slightly to the left. But if I do it now, I can much smaller movements. If that makes sense. But just in case you are also playing this on VC or maybe even Switch, if you played without ESS adapter, it would be like it would feel worse, because the N64 dead zone originally was completely different to what controllers nowadays are, kind of, if that makes sense. So don't wonder why I can make this super smooth adjustments that you might not be able to do. It's because I have certain peripherals that allow me to do such stuff. Cool. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, just in case you were wondering. I'm also fairly certain that the ESS adapter also only is for the exclusive because yeah, obviously, yeah, because you need to plug it into like a port for the GameCube, and only the GameCube and we have that. I'm not sure how it works with adapters, if you can use it on emulator or so. That's something I'm not sure about. Or if you have some kind of adapter for Switch or so. But yeah, so much for ESS adapters. Just wanted to mention that. Also, we need to talk about other stuff here as well, now that we are here at our first Switch. Also, speaking about Switch, it's also pretty fittingly. Yeah, I've been playing the Wii Virtual Console version. Like, I've mentioned that multiple times by now. But yeah, that comes with a couple of interesting changes, some of which I'm actually not very fond of, but things that ultimately don't matter. There are multiple versions of Ocarina of Time, and basically all of those versions do introduce different things. Some range from very small bug fixes to some certain glitches that only work in like very like initial versions of Ocarina of Time, and so on and so forth. There are some bigger ones. I think there are like 3 big ones that you can like really tell which that allow you to really tell which version someone is playing of Ocarina of Time, and those are the Gerudo symbol, the blood during the Ganon cutscene at the end, when you defeat Gendorf. He's vomits in this version and does not like cause blood. And the Fire Temple music. Those are the 3 big things that like differ from version to version, basically, and allow you to tell which version someone is playing of Ocarina of Time. We are playing the Virtual Console version, in case that wasn't clear yet. That means we get the new Gerudo symbol, which is this one, in the base game. In the base game, and I think all versions of Ocarina of Time on the N64, this symbol here was a half moon with a star, which greatly resembled the symbol of the Islam. I think they took it from the Ottoman Empire or so. But yeah, nowadays mostly known as the symbol of the Islam religion, Islamic religion. and also the flag of Turkey. And that was changed to this symbol, which was also later used in like all like other appearances to represent the Gerudos. But yeah, that was basically one of the big changes here. To be honest, this symbol, I don't mind it, but I think the half moon star thing looks better simply because originally those things were designed with that symbol in mind. Especially the mirror shield later on looks worse in my opinion. Like, the original design just is much more appealing, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how it is. One thing I also need to mention, because this symbol then was used in later instances, it makes more sense in later games, because then this symbol was actually, like, part of the designs, like, initially in, like, later games anyways, which makes it which makes it look better, in my opinion. Like, for example, one instance is like Gandalf's mantle in Twilight Princess. Like, he has like the symbol on his mantle. It looks much more better and much more in place there, if you ask me, compared to like anything here in Ocarina of Time. Simply because they used the symbol from the get-go and didn't change that like through like certain revisions. And the first version of Ocarina of Time that changed this symbol was the GameCube version, actually. Like, all of the N64 versions still had the half moon star symbol. And yeah, that's one of the first big changes that are in this version, basically. Also later used in Ocarina of Time 3D, by the way. And like all versions, also on the Switch version, if you play with Nintendo Switch Online, that's also the symbol you will see. But keep in mind that this originally was a different symbol, just for reference. Another thing which also connects to the Islam is actually the Fire Temple music, the music we will hear later. This music is also changed here in the 1.0 version. That version of the Fire Temple theme did have some kind of Islamic chanting or so, and it basically like said like Allah is the only god or so if you listen closely. So yeah, Nintendo did not want to have that in the game, which is funny because Nintendo back in the day, still with their like strict rules on religion and depiction in their games, and like they make the same mistake, and at least they are up to it like later. That's pretty funny. But yeah, and the other last thing is the blood with Gandalf later on, which will be green in this version and not red, even though there are instances of blood still in the game here that are red, so yeah, no clue. But yeah, those are some like changes made in this V Virtual Console versions that I will also acknowledge later on again, but I just wanted to mention it. And for now we press the switch after I like talked about everything I could ever talk about. We're also about to get our first golden Skulltula token. One jump slash takes care of them, otherwise you need to do 2 normal sword slashes, which is annoying because they do get iframes in the meantime, and yeah, that's not fast at all. And being a sophisticated and educated Ocarina of Time player, I of course want to go fast. Also, how long did I just talk about different versions of Ocarina of Time? I think for way too long, but anyways. I think stuff like that is interesting, and I also want to educate a little bit, so yeah. Funny stuff. It's interesting stuff, I like to talk about stuff like that. By the way, those Deku seeds are the ammunition for the slingshot. This Deku Baba, I almost said Piranha Plant. This Deku Baba is there to supply you with more Deku sticks in case you run out. Also, I think I want that. Thank you. We light the stick and then we light the torch, which is our main method of lighting torches right now. More of those puzzles will come up later. Okay, freeze, and we jump down now, and we jump down here. And we fall into the basement. Nice, okay, cool. We will find a lot of Skulltulas here again. First off, this one. We can grab it with a precise jump. We can even combine that with the jump slash for even more distance. Also, wait a second. One thing, I need to check the text box after this. I think there's something I'm also noticing that is different in the randomizer. You destroyed a gold sculptor. You got a token, proving you destroyed it. Yeah, that's different. Ah, okay, that's something I never noticed. But in the randomizer, it actually tells you how many you got at this point. Like, it would say, like, this is the third, like, gold token you got or so. But not here. That's interesting. I also like how it says you destroyed a gold sculptor. You did not defeat it or so. Which was absolutely humiliated, destroyed it whatsoever. That's funny. Okay, let's see if I can do something here. Let's see if I can do B1 skip. That's definitely wrong here. Okay, we want to target like this part of the wall, I think. And you can see this like seam next left to link here. There's like this seam where the textures of the wall are like merging. And this is basically a corner. We want to roll into that corner. But I think my aim is a little bit off. I think like this. And you don't want to target for this. Okay, Link is rolling into this corner now. Okay. Then we want to target once we are in this corner. We can roll again so that he is actually quite aligned. I think that's fine. Now we need to do a backflip. Do we need to do another backflip or is it like left-right already? I think another backflip. Yeah, I think that was alright. And then we do a side hop to the right. And then to the left, I think. I think that might be wrong. But okay, let's try it anyways. And then we want to align, then we want to go into the ego perspective, and then we want to align our B button with that part up there, kind of like that, I think. And then we... Is that alright? I think that's... Actually, I'm not sure if that's it. I'm thinking I'm having the wrong like perspective here. If we hold and target now, if we jump, if we hold forward, we at least see the jump. Okay, that's at least something. But I think I might need to do another side hop there. Like, that's one of my weaknesses. I can never remember the setups. Like, I've done all of that already, like in my life, but also that was bad. Okay, roll into the corner, target, roll again. I think this is much better. I think I'm really having this wrong, right? No. That's not it. I might need to do 2 side hops to the right, I think. Okay. Do you even have to do 2 backflips? I'm not sure about that. If I hop to the right now, that's absolutely not it. And I ruined the setup. Backflip. Maybe I need to do it more like this. Oh, that's absolutely not it. Okay, wait a second. Or do you want to wait a second? I think you do want to wait a second for this. That's absolutely not it. Okay, wait a second. I'm gonna look this up and I'm gonna do this, because I'm eager to do this. Yeah, okay, let's try this again. Apparently you need to target this wall. I think apparently that's easier. Then we walk towards this seam here, and then we roll into it. Okay, Link should be kind of parallel to that now. Like his very tip of his head should be lining up with the seam now, which is kind of the case here. Okay, now we want to do a backflip like I did. And another one. side hop right, side hop left, and then we want to target. It was actually kind of right how I did that. We want to target like not like that it matches like the edge of the button with the like thing up there. You want to go a little bit over that. Maybe that's way too far. That's where the ESS adapter comes into play. More like this, I think. Okay, then we want to return, target again, do a neutral roll, and then we roll again, hold forward, and that should be it. Not quite. Okay, I think my angle was not right. I think I did screw up the angle with the B button. I think otherwise that was kind of fine. When he jumps, that's already a good sign. And like if he jumps, like that's the first hurdle you need to overcome here. I think that might be fine. Maybe if I target the wall here again, then we move into this here. Yeah, you want to target like basically the left side of the wall, and then you want to move to the right, and then you want to roll into the seam here, into the corner here. Backflip, backflip, right, left. Maybe more like this, let's see. There we go, nice, okay. Easy peasy, okay, and that's how you skip B1. You just need to find the right alignment with the B button for, and like that thing up there. And then you can do this. You just need to recall that setup, and yeah, we basically skipped the entire dungeon now. Or at least the rest of it. Of course I'm gonna go through it anyways, because that's part of what I want to do here. Also, by the way, another thing that is nicer in Randomizer is pushing blocks. Because boy, is this slow, my goodness. Again, the Randomizer, that's like 3 times as fast, at least. But yeah, for now, let's try to do the rest of the dungeon legitimately. I like how they give you a lot of recovery hearts here, making sure that you don't die in the first dungeon. Yeah, in the randomizer, you actually do want to skip B1 here, because there's literally nothing on the other side here. Except one Skulltula, and if you play Master Quest, I think like another chest or so. But yeah, for our intents and purposes, we are gonna do it anyways. Here's another scrub. I did tell you that the other one we had to reflect his nut back on, but for this one we can just do this. Hello? Oh, he actually avoided. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll work that way. Huh, okay. Yeah, that's because I never go here. I like how he calls me master. Fi, is it you? That's what Fi turned into. 2, 3, 1. That's gonna be important. Yeah, you are such a traitor. Also here, a nice tutorial for the ice switches. We can activate those switches with our slingshot. Now we will probably also tell you something about that when you approach the barred door here or so. Oh yeah, if you hold A you can dive. Oh man. Yeah, interesting things underwater, okay. Let's see, can I not just, like, do this? Nah, I think that was, that might be possible. I think there's something you can do there, you can just hop over there. Yeah, like that, nice, okay. But you can also just, okay, that was intended. Okay, the intended method is, there is a switch somewhere around here. The switch I cannot find because I haven't done this in ages, here over there. And you need to dive here. And that presses the switch. I think that's also a mechanic that is never used again. So it's unique to this dungeon. Also, it looks like as if I did miss my timing here, but you get plenty of time here to do this. I think they accounted for at least one like rotation of this platform here. Oh yeah, stand next to this block and grab hold of it with A. While holding A, you can push and pull. Oh yeah, it's a block. When you push A and press block and climb on top of it, pay attention to what the action button says. Yeah, cool. Navi is once again master of disaster. And dude, pulling and pushing is so slow. That's so baffling if you played randomizer a lot. But that's also what makes it funny. Never forget how like the original version was, guys. Yeah, that's one that like goes into like it's like Deku stick mode. That's interesting. I think the other ones like refuse to do so for whatever reason. Also, I wanted to scan enemies and I didn't do so. Like scanning enemies with Navi isn't important at all. But it's interesting to see what Navi has to say about them. For example, the Skulltula. Its soft belly is its weak point. Attack its weak point for massive damage. Okay. Something tells me... Oh my god, it's a Minigoma. Is it called Minigoma? Goma Lava. Look out when it gets ready to pounce. Okay. Okay, this thing is actually kind of dangerous. I think it actually deals a lot of damage for this stage in the game, and that was weird. I did took damage, and even though I killed it, okay. But yeah, what you are supposed to do here, you should pay close attention and just shoot the X here. Those are sometimes deceptively hard to hit, because the hitbox is pretty weird sometimes. In any case, just get rid of them and you don't have to deal with the actual enemy. Okay, now we need to burn this web stick, hello. And right there we see a reason why I need to return here later. We need to go back to this dungeon with bombs, once we have bombs, and we actually also need the boomerang. I lost the stick, oh no. And we also need the boomerang because only then we can get one of the... Like, how many Skulltulas are here? 4, right? 4 Skulltulas. Like the 2 in the main room down here, in the main basement room. Then the one in the, like, rising platforms room, and then the one behind the bombable wall. Also nice how all the actors load into this. Pretty funny. Okay, there are also many more tricks you can do here. It's Ocarina of Time. That's something I should mention. Ocarina of Time is like the treasure trove of glitches in video games. Like there are so many glitches in this game. You can basically do everything in this game, whatever you want. You can even play other games, I think, with arbitrary code execution or so. Like it's absolutely insane what is possible in this game if you execute certain stuff. There's basically a glitch for everything in this game. Like, and I think no other game that exists can claim that. Pretty funny, I like it. It's one of the most appealing things about this game, in my opinion. It's just absolutely crazy what you can do here. But yeah, one thing you can do, for example, you can also like go up here, you can do a backflip and then ignite your stick that way. But I have no clue how to do that, so I'm gonna use the normal method instead. And B1 skip is also one of those examples. It's not precisely a glitch. I think it's also pretty gray what is considered a glitch here. There are also like multiple like categories, speedrun categories for this game. Because there's just stuff that is considered a glitch, there's some stuff that is considered like a trick, and then there's like some weird stuff in between, and there are multiple categories for like Ocarina of Time speedrunning. Unrestricted and restricted being like the most common ones, besides like normal categories like any percent, 100%, dank percent, whatever. Yeah, okay, wait a second, this one? No, it's 2, 3, 1. So the combination here comes into play. It's 2, 3, 1. So first off the middle one, then the right one, then the left one. And I need to scan you. It's a Deku scrub. It will hide in the grass. If you get close to it, bounce the nuts it spits back at it. Okay. Cool. By the way, one trick I'm using while fighting those scrubs the entire time. I want to stand moderately close to the scrub. And then I want to deflect the nut, and while like the nut travels back, I want to roll basically where the Deku scrub is, because then I can initiate the talk here immediately. If you don't do that, the scrub will run around randomly and eventually go back into hiding. And you need to repeat the entire thing with deflecting the nut and stuff. But yeah, like doing it like that makes it a little bit faster. Coup de grace. Nice. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. Wow. I never really like listened to like the English dialogue of this game, so there might be some funny things here I have never seen before. I usually only played this game in German, so yeah, pretty new to me. But yeah, first boss fight, Gauma. And this is also the perfect opportunity to pull off another trick slash glitch. I think this one is considered a trick. But yeah, we want to align with the wall. One thing I should also mention, one thing that becomes very important when it comes to setups. If Link faces a wall, if we target, like when he is like kind of facing the wall, he can like face the wall like this, for example. If we target now, not quite here. Like if he like stand like this, he's not parallel to the wall right now. But if we target now, you can see that he immediately positions himself in a way that he is parallel to the wall. That is very important for a lot of setups. But yeah, one thing you need to keep in mind here: if you move towards a wall, like a wall that is kind of even like this, and like targeted, Link will position himself perfectly parallel to it. And we want to do, in order to execute a specific trick here, we want to target one such wall that is parallel and orthogonal to the ground. We want to target it. We want to do a backflip. And now we want to do a neutral roll. A neutral roll is interesting because if we were to roll now while we keep holding target, Link will perform this weird, like, sideways roll. That's not what we want to do. Instead, we want to target, backflip. The camera is a little bit weird. And then we either want to let go of target, and then we want to roll, because then we do the neutral roll. Or alternatively, we want to do a backflip and we want to shield, and then we want to roll because that has the same effect. Okay, now that we have done that, we want to pull out the stick, and we want to do a jump attack. And when we do all of that correctly, we get the broken stick. Nice. And this is a glitch slash a trick, whatever you want to do this as. And this stick will become important because now we have the potential to one-cycle Gauma. With the cutscene I also haven't seen in a long time, I think. I think that's not part of the randomizer usually. Yeah, especially not this. Like, it would start the fight immediately. I completely forgot about this. This is also kind of atmospheric. Like, I completely forgot about this. What happens if you just move around here? Like, I think nothing happens really. That's something I also have never done. Like, just moving randomly around here. But yeah, the idea is we want to go into first-person view. And we want to take a look at what is up there. You can already see this imposing eye there. If we look up now, we can see our stick. That's funny. Yeah, hello. Can you please recognize me? There we go. Okay, it is important that we have Deku nuts equipped. And we have Parasitic Armored Arachnid Goma. I like the titles for the enemies. Okay, target, jump slash, and... wrong timing, okay. Okay, we want to perform a jump. We want to stun Goma with the Deku nut. And then we want to perform a jump slash with the Deku stick. And then we want to keep the... I think that was my mistake right now. We want to keep the Deku stick out, and then we want to perform crouch steps with the right timing with the Deku stick, and that way we can one-shot Goma. But I kind of screwed up, but hey, the fight is not hard anyways, as you can see. And that was the first boss. Nice. And we get a piece of heart. Not piece of heart, a heart container. Yay, let's pick it up. You got a heart container. Your maximum life energy is increased by 1 heart. Your life energy will be totally filled. Nice, we got 4 hearts now. Cool, not much else here to do. Let's leave this place and hear a very long cutscene. Well done, Link. Like, it's always this majestic camera angle for the Deku tree, which makes sense. Also never knew that he talks in Old English. Like I said, only accustomed to the German version. How about now? Now, Link. Okay. Deku tree is about to die out because of old age, so better hear him out. Wicked man of the desert. I should just read the important marked words here. No, actually here he has the cape, okay. But this one also has like the thunder effects and stuff. Okay, he informs us about like this weird man he has like seen. He wants to get access to the sacred realm and claim the ancient relic, the Triforce, in order to conquer the entire world. And now we get the entire origin story of the Triforce, which no one asked about, but okay. I think this is the first time in the Zelda series that this was actually like kind of explained. Like, it was like weirdly explained in supplementary material, like the instruction manuals for A Link to the Past or so. But this is the first time it's actually explained in game. Yeah, Deku tree tells us about the 3 golden goddesses, which are Din, Farora, and Nairu. And they created the world of Hyrule. Actually, not just Hyrule. Hyrule is just one part of the world. Like, there are other countries as well, like Labrina or Holodrum. But like, they basically created the world, at least according to the origin history the Deku tree knows. Like, a lot of this has also like different explanations in like different Zelda games and whatever not. Oh wow, that's actually something I never noticed. Like, the ground texture is actually different before Farora shows up. Interesting. This game has a lot of nice details. I like how the music transitions into like the like that one opening thing from A Link to the Past. That makes sense. Could you hear it? That's nice. Of course, also the eternal question, how do you obtain the Triforce in Ocarina of Time? Like, you kind of can, I think, with glitches. Like, you can get like some weird beta item or so. He has casted the death curse upon me, okay? And set my power. My end is nigh. Okay, the Deku tree is doomed, he will die now. And he entrusts us with, like, doing the heavy work here. He sends us to Hyrule Castle and we are about to meet the Princess of Destiny, which is Princess Zelda. Contrary to popular belief, the guy we are playing is actually not called Zelda. I know this is a great shocker for all of you, but it is in fact Link we are playing as. And Zelda is actually just an NPC. A very important NPC, but just an NPC. We also get the Kokiri Emerald. Cool. Now Kokiri's Emerald, sorry. This is the spiritual stone of the forest. Cool. I like how his text box becomes slower. That's actually a great touch. Like, there are a lot of those touches. I like that. Meow. Also the leaves. So the leaves are also a great touch here. You really need to appreciate just how high this game set the bar back in the day. Like with all of those effects and stuff and all the like it's also like has like this very dramatic structure and stuff like that. Like really a big thing. Wow, Mido. he was there for a second, but then he disappeared. I wonder what happens if I do save and quit now. Like I should start back in Link's house. Do I never see that dialogue here? Like yeah, Mido recognizes that we apparently are kind of involved into the Deku Tree's death, and he is very upset now, so... And he just vanishes into thin air. Well, hopefully we will never see that guy again, but tough luck we will see that guy again, so yeah. But yeah, our next station, our next place to be is Hyrule Castle, which means we need to leave Kokiri Forest, our home, and set out into the wide world of Hyrule and yeah, meet Princess Zelda. Yeah, anything else I want to show you? I don't think so, so yeah, off to Hyrule Castle it is then. Alright guys, thank you all for watching, I really hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Until then, take care and goodbye.